Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going over my top 10 Chanel beauty products. I don't know about you, but I am sick of hearing about the Sephora sale, so I thought I would switch it up and talk about my current top 10 Chanel beauty favorites. I feel like with beauty favorites, things change about once a year because your preferences change. Maybe your skin type changes as you're getting older. So for me currently, I do have drier skin. And right now I'm just really liking an easy breezy natural look. I like to go in with a few products. I definitely am like a product maximalist, but I'm a minimalist in how I like my makeup to look on the skin. I like my products to look really skin-like. I want my skin to look like skin in person. I don't want you to see makeup sitting on the skin. So I really like that more natural makeup look that just enhances your natural beauty. So these products will reflect that, and you'll kind of hear me talk about that in this video. But I just love a good top 10 video, and I love Chanel makeup. So I just wanted to go over the permanent products in the collection and talk about which ones are my favorite. And I will say Chanel limited edition products, I don't love everything that's released, but they do make amazing highlighters. So if you're looking to purchase from their limited edition exclusive collections that are released in like the spring, summer, holiday months, I really recommend the eyeshadow palettes when they come out, especially if they're a tone that speak to you. I tend to prefer neutral tones. And also the highlighters. The highlighters that they do are incredible when they're the limited edition. In their permanent line, I'm not a huge fan of them, so I tend to reserve purchasing a Chanel highlighter when it's a limited edition product. But let's just get into the top 10 beauty products. I'm going to start out with the Complexion, and you'll notice that a lot of my favorites are actually Complexion products because I feel like Chanel just does Complexion products, at least specific Complexion products, really well. So the first product is the Chanel Le Beige Water Fresh Tint, which is something you've probably heard me talk about many times. Chanel says this is a light to medium coverage foundation with a gel texture and pigmented micro droplets that create a radiant bare skin effect and a healthy looking glow. It's supposed to give you up to 8 hours of hydration, and this is a lightweight formula composed of 75% water. Skin feels refreshed and energized, and that's exactly what this product does. It does give your skin just like a glass of water. It gives you a healthy glow. It makes your skin look nice and blurred when you apply it to the skin. And this is a skin tint. Now this claims that it's light to medium coverage. It's not. It's sheer to light coverage. I don't even know if I'd say it's light coverage, but if you are looking for the ultimate no makeup look, you need this product in your life because it does not look like makeup at all on the skin. This is absolutely undetectable on the skin. But it does even out your skin a little bit, just gives you a little bit of glow. And my favorite thing about this product is, especially in the summertime, it does not move. Once you apply it to your skin, it does have this quality where it just sets down into the skin. And I think it's because these micro pigment drops, they have a little bit of a powder in them, so you don't necessarily need to set down your makeup. And if you are looking for something for a hot and humid climate, this is the foundation I would recommend to you because when you start sweating or getting hot, this isn't going to move around. It's not going to patch off. It's not going to look like you're missing coverage in any areas. Like it doesn't wear away patchy or anything like that. It's a great long wearing sheer coverage foundation. I would just call it more of a skin tint. Just extremely skin-like and is so beautiful. But a lot of skin tints, I would say, they are quite radiant and dewy on the skin, but this isn't. If you are super oily, I would recommend setting this down, but this is just my favorite go-to product in the summer if I'm running errands. If I just want to look enhanced and just look more put together without it looking like I'm wearing makeup, this is the product I reach for. Kind of an enhancing product to go with this Water Fresh tint that's kind of one step above is this Chanel Le Beige Water Fresh Complexion Touch. So virtually this is the exact same product as the Water Fresh tint. However, it has more coverage to it. So again, Chanel says this is a versatile makeup product infused with pigmented micro droplets, buildable light to medium coverage formula, conceals imperfections, even skin tone, and adds luminosity for a natural looking finish. So again, this is a gel texture and it is designed for targeted application as well as on-the-go touch-ups throughout the day. So this is marketed basically as the concealer version of the Water Fresh tint. Also with a little bit more coverage. This claims it is that light to medium coverage again, and I would say that's correct. This is definitely more of that light to medium coverage. And this is fantastic, actually, as a multi-purpose product. So when I went traveling, I went to Las Vegas, I brought this in my carry-on, and they don't count this as liquid, so that's a really good point as well. But this works really well as a hybrid between a foundation and a concealer. My preference is to use this as a concealer, kind of as it is marketed as. But if you're looking for something that does offer more coverage than the Water Fresh tint, but still gives you that skin-like finish that's not too radiant, but it's also not too matte on the skin, doesn't need to be set down with powder, and that wears really well in any humidity or if it's really hot outside. This, again, is a product for you. If you are someone that just requires a little bit more coverage, maybe you have a little bit more redness to your skin. But like I said, my favorite way to use this is using this as a concealer product. So I like to apply it underneath the eyes. The shade that I wear is the shade B30. And I really enjoy this because, again, when I'm looking for that more natural makeup look, I don't necessarily need to set this product down with powder, which I really enjoy, just on an everyday basis. But I do really like to use these in tandem, so I'll apply this as my foundation all over the skin. If I do require a little bit more coverage in any areas, then I will go in with this product and then also use this under the eyes. And this combination is just the most perfect skin finish look ever. If you just want it to look like you are wearing no makeup and just let your skin shine, let your natural beauty shine through. Really recommend these two together. This is like my go-to combination in the spring and summertime. I quickly want to mention that these two products are water-based products, so they are going to work best together. If you use another foundation with this as a concealer, so say I went in with the Chanel Sublimage Le Teint, this will not work well as a concealer over top of this product because this is water-based and it will pill. So it will almost remove this makeup underneath, and they just do not work well together. So you're going to get the best bang for your buck if you pair this as a concealer with another water-based foundation, or if you just use these in tandem. And again, same goes for this. If you're using this as a foundation, make sure your concealer is more of a water-based formula. Otherwise, it will pill and it will just not wear well throughout the day. And then moving on to some other foundation products. This is the Chanel Sublimage Le Teint. You guys have heard me talk about this product over and over. My best shade match is B30. And this is an exquisite liquid foundation with an unprecedented serum-like texture that melts into the skin and instantly creates a smoother, more radiant-looking complexion. Day after day, skin maintains a sublime, luminous appearance. So this is supposed to be a skincare makeup hybrid product, which I really, really enjoy. And this product is very expensive for a foundation, but this makes my skin better over time. This really does make my complexion just look better. It never feels like makeup on the skin. This is definitely a light to medium coverage foundation, so this is a great everyday foundation, but there's just such a special quality to this foundation that I can't find with anything else. It gives you a little bit of this like candlelight glow. It refines the look of any texture on the skin, so it's a very smoothing foundation, but it also is plumping and gives your skin a really nice healthy glow. I have fantastic longevity with this foundation. This is a foundation that I can wear all day to work, not need to touch up, but I can also wear it for evening events when I want my makeup to just look special and I want my skin to look special. But again, that special quality to my skin and how my skin looks, it's not going to be like, oh wow, you're wearing a ton of makeup on your face. You're still going to get those compliments like, wow, your skin looks really beautiful, versus the makeup you are wearing looks very beautiful, if that makes sense. It's just a very beautiful skin-like foundation that also smooths the skin, really long wearing, refines texture on the skin, and it's just beautiful, and I can't say enough about this. I went through the shade B40, but I'm trying not to self-tan as much, so the shade B30 works a lot better for me, and this is just a go-to foundation if you're looking for something that's good for every day and for special occasions. This is fantastic. And then I had so many of you guys ask me in comparison which one I like between the Chanel Sublimage Le Teint and the Chanel Sublimage Le Teint. So this was the first version of the Sublimage foundation line. And I did try it. I think it must have been like 3 years ago. And I did like it. It has a really great blurring effect on the skin. And I do want to say, I really do enjoy this. This is why it's in my top 10 list. I feel like it is a gorgeous foundation, but this foundation is something that I will only reserve for special occasions because it is quite a mattifying finish. And it is, I I don't want to say it's heavy on the skin, but it's not undetectable on the skin like the previous foundation products that I mentioned where they are undetectable on the skin. This one you can see makeup sitting on your skin, but it does give you that very perfected look. So this is more of a medium to full coverage foundation in my eyes. This is more than just a cream foundation. Sublimage Teint has the exceptional properties of a skincare product. Its light creamy texture creates a natural makeup look with a satiny finish and buildable coverage. So I wouldn't say this is satiny. Maybe it is if you have more oily skin, but on my dry skin, this is more of a probably velvet finish. It's more of a natural matte finish on me. So this is infused with the Sublimage skincare, same with the Teint version. And it contains a soft focus complex for a smoothing effect. It also provides 12 hours of hydration and long-lasting comfort. And there is a diamond powder in the formula that enhances the complexion's glow. So I will say that this does a fantastic job of smoothing out the skin. If you have any pores on your skin or any texture, this completely refines it on the skin. Very similar to the Sublimage L'Essence de Teint, but this one is just more matte. So if you do have oilier skin, you might find this even more refining on the skin. It is very, very smoothing on the skin. It doesn't give me the same plumpness that this foundation does. It just looks very youthful and healthy. This is quite a matte finish on me, but I really, really enjoy it for more special occasions or evenings out, because even though it is more matte on the skin, it is incredibly long lasting and it's going to last throughout your night. You're not going to have to worry about touching it up on the skin because it does remain that kind of matte finish throughout the evening. And it photographs beautifully because it is a little bit heavier on the skin. Again, it doesn't look cakey or anything, but it's just a foundation that you can see versus it being completely undetectable. So for me, I really, really enjoy this as a special occasion foundation. This is not something I will wear every day just because I do like those more natural skin finish foundations, but this is something that I will use for special occasions. Now, it is quite expensive if you're just looking for a foundation for a special occasion purpose. But if you're someone that goes out a lot, or you attend a lot of weddings, or you just like something that is medium to full coverage and you don't mind seeing makeup on your skin, this product is fantastic. I really love both of these equally, so I did want to talk about them in this top 10 video, but just kind of go over the differences between them because I think they're both special products. They just are different purpose products for me. And I also wear the shade B30 in this as well. Both beautiful, but if you had to ask me my favorite, it would be the Chanel Sublimage L'Essence de Teint. Enough about the foundations. Let's move on to concealer. So I did mention the Water Fresh Complexion Touch as a concealer, but if you're looking just for a concealer that works well with all foundations, any foundation you have in your collection, then I have to talk about the Chanel Sublimage Le Corrector U. So this is a radiance revealing skincare concealer, creamy and lightweight. Its exceptional hydrating formula melts onto the skin and instantly illuminates the eyes. It conceals the appearance of dark circles and visibly smooths fine lines without creasing, all while caring for the delicate eye area. And I really agree with all that. So it does say that it gives eyes that look rested instantly and throughout the day. It has a luminous finish and buildable coverage. I do agree with that. This does have some light reflecting properties to it, but it's not shimmery. You can't detect any shimmer particles on the skin or anything like that. But it does have this light reflecting property that almost refracts the light in a way where it does look very blurring on the under eye area, which is just very unique. It's quite a thick texture for a concealer, and I don't love that it comes in this jar. I'm not a huge fan of this packaging because it is quite messy. But I don't really care because of how good this concealer is. It's become my holy grail concealer because of how it just makes my under eyes look refreshed. It does give a little bit of that color correction to the under eye area. I am someone where I would say my main concern with my skin is my dark circles on my under eye, but this gives a nice brightness, a slight color correcting as well. I do find if I really want that perfected under eye look, that I will go in with a color corrector underneath this just because this is a little bit too light on me. This is the shade 20. I should have picked up the shade 30 to get more of that probably color corrector effect on me. So I will pick that up once I go through this shade. But this is just a beautiful skin finish on the under eye area, and it is the most blurring concealer that I have, and I think it is because it has those light reflecting properties to it where it just refracts the light in a way where it just blurs the under eye region in a really unique way. This is just a standout concealer for me. This is truly like nothing else I have in my collection. There's nothing that I can replace this product with. Even though this is an expensive concealer, for me it is worth the price tag because you just need such a little bit of this product. A little bit does go a long way, and it just looks so beautiful on the under eye area. This is another concealer. If you go in with too much product, yes, it is detectable, but this is just such a skin-like finish that if you use just a little bit of product, you can get that skin finish where it doesn't look makeup-y on the under eye area. I do find that I need to set it down, I think just because there are some hydrating properties, but once I set that down, doesn't move throughout the day, very long lasting. This is just the perfect concealer. Moving on to some more complexion products. Like I said, Chanel just really nails their complexion products. This is the Chanel Les Beiges Healthy Glow Bronzing Cream in the shade 390 Soleil Tan Bronze Universal. So this is the original shade that Chanel has released. It is a shade that works well for me. It's possibly, I could get away with the 392 that was recently released, but I haven't picked that up yet because I have so much of this product left. So I think I will pick up the 392 when I go through the 390. But this is just a fabulous cream bronzer. I feel like it is the best cream bronzer on the market. Now I will say, this is a reformulated version of the Soleil Tan de Chanel. I actually prefer the previous version, but this is still really good. There is a slight difference. I would say this is a little bit creamier on the skin because this does have a coconut oil derivative to it. And I honestly prefer the previous version, but I still really enjoy this, and I still think this is the best cream bronzer on the market that I've tried so far. I just personally prefer the previous version, but it's just such a creamy cream bronzer. And my favorite thing about it is it just melts onto the skin, and it has this beautiful dry down to it. So even though when you apply it on the skin, it feels really creamy and it really melts into the skin, it's very blendable and easy to work with. It will dry down on the skin and give this beautiful matte finish that is actually blurring on the skin as well, which is really unique for a cream bronzer. And I think it does have quite a bit of silicones in there, which is probably why it does give that blurring effect. It's a really beautiful warm tone bronzer. This definitely does lean warm if you're not someone that likes warm tone bronzers. I really love using this on my eyes as well. Like today I use this in my crease as a transition. It's just a beautiful bronzer if you really want, again, that skin-like effect where that product just melts into the skin, so you're not going to be able to detect that you've applied bronzer. This also works as a bronzing base. So if you just don't want to wear foundation for the day, you can go in with just this product. If you're maybe someone that tans your body and not your face, you can just apply this all over the skin with a brush, like just use a foundation brush all over the skin, and it just gives you a little bit of tint of color. It doesn't add coverage to the skin, but again, it blurs the skin really beautifully. So now I will say, because this has a coconut derivative in it, if you have sensitive acne-prone skin, I would not recommend this product. I am someone with acne-prone skin, and if I use this like 3 to 5 days in a row, I will notice a little bit of irritation on my skin. So for me, I can't use this all the time. But if I'm looking for that skin-like quality, and if I just limit it to using this once or twice a week, then it is totally fine. But that's the only unfortunate thing about this, but it is still a top 10 beauty favorite. And my next product on my list is the Chanel Water Fresh Blush. This one is surprising to me that it's on this list, because if you heard my initial review, I said that these were quite finicky to work with, and they are finicky to work with. I'm not going to lie. If you're a beginner, I don't think I'd recommend this product, because when you get this product, if you have not seen another person apply it, you might run into issues. So I had to test this out a few times to discover how it applies best, but I found a way where it does apply best. And this, if you're looking for an actual skin-like blush that lasts all day on the skin, this is a cream blush that you can apply that will last all day long. I have issues with cream blushes because they are the first thing to fade away on my face. They just kind of disappear after 3 hours. This will not. This will remain on your skin all day long. It is incredibly long-lasting. And again, because this is that 75% water-based formula, it's going to look like skin. It just melts onto the skin absolutely beautifully. So this is a lightweight moisturizing blush infused with micro droplet pigments that blend seamlessly into the skin for a sheer touch of color and a natural looking flush effect, as if you just spent a day in the great outdoors. So these micro droplet pigments melt into the skin upon contact, offering a barely there finish and a healthy looking glow. And that's exactly what this does. It does look really fresh on the skin. It just gives your skin health. It gives you that youthfulness back to your skin. And if you want a skin finish blush that actually melts into your skin and doesn't look like makeup, that gives you a little bit of color, this is for you. So the trick with this formula is that you just, and again, it is a little finicky, so you apply a little bit. I would actually suggest applying it to the palm of your hand, not the back of your hand, because the back of your hand has pores and it will absorb that product. But you actually want to blend it onto the skin a little bit first. So you want to kind of burst those micro droplet pigments. And it is a very watery consistency. It's very liquidy. And so it can be a little intimidating to work with. So you want to burst those beads. And then you want to go in with a brush. So I'll just pick up a brush here. And then go in with that product, with that brush. And then you apply it onto the skin. You could also maybe get a little bit of that excess product off on the back of your hand. But that's how I find best to work with it. You are not going to have success if you just go in, pump it onto your hand, and then just apply it on the brush. Then you can the product can get away from you and it can be harder to work with. It can be harder to blend onto the skin because it just gets a little bit too messy. It's a beautiful, beautiful formula once you nail down how to apply it onto the skin. And again, this is like my perfect summer blush because I don't necessarily want it to look like I'm wearing makeup all the time. This just enhances your natural beauty, and it is the perfect skin finish blush that melts into your skin. Gorgeous. And I really enjoy this shade because it is quite a punchy color, so you just need a little bit of product. This is the shade Intense Coral. This is probably the only shade I would recommend getting because the light pink, and I forgot what the other color was called, but they're too light that you can't even see them on the skin. So this one just offers a really nice amount of pigmentation. It does look scary when you apply it onto the back of your hand, but it truly is workable if you apply it in that way. And it just looks absolutely beautiful and fresh and healthy on the skin. It is fabulous. I'm finally done with the Complexion products. Moving on to my favorite, absolute favorite Chanel eyeshadow palette. This is the Les Beiges Healthy Glow Natural Eyeshadow Palette in the shade Intense. So this is a palette of 5 eyeshadows, so it is a quint. And I just love these tones. I'm definitely someone that prefers a shimmery palette than to an all matte palette. If you're looking for a matte palette, the Candor Experience is really lovely, but I'm someone that just prefers shimmer on my eyes versus with working with all mattes. So this palette reveals eyes that look radiant, fresh, and rested at any time of day. Its harmony of 5 natural and easy to wear shades offers a variety of looks, extremely versatile. And I agree with that. This is such an easy palette to use. You don't have to think too hard to create looks with this palette because it is just so neutral and ready to wear. It is just easy breezy. You can create more dramatic looks by focusing on these deeper tones. And you can obviously create more daytime looks just focusing on this really beautiful champagne shade or this bronze gold shade. This is my favorite shade in the palette. But I love that you can wear this for day and evening, and it is so versatile. And these are all, again, satin shimmery shades that just look beautiful on the eyes. They give your eyes a little bit of a glow, but there's no real sparkle to this. The shade with the most shimmer is this shade here, the champagne shade, but it's not a glittery shade where you can detect those glitter flecks on the eyes that just looks heavy and unnatural. This is just a beautiful formula. It's very smooth and creamy. The previous Les Beiges formula was quite powdery, but this is way creamier and just smooth, easy to blend, easy to build up on the eyes. I love these warm tones. I love that there is a hint of like a khaki undertone to some of the shades as well. So it's not just a complete neutral bronze palette. You get a little bit of a khaki undertone to some of the shades, but it's just absolutely gorgeous. I love the quality of these shadows. I love my makeup every time I use this palette. And this is just definitely my favorite Chanel palette that they have ever come out with. I love it, can't get enough. Now Chanel does a lot of great lip products, but the ones that I consistently reach for the most and that I just get so much use out of is definitely, first of all, the Chanel Rouge Coco Flash. My favorite #1 shade is the shade 54 Boy. It is beautiful. That is all I can twist it up, so I really need to get it back. I think I've been saying that for a few months. But this is just a beautiful, neutral, nude shade. It doesn't lean too pink. It doesn't lean too peach. It doesn't lean too brown. It's like that perfect combination of all of those combined. Has a little bit of a sheen to it, but it just makes your lips look so fresh, a little bit glossy. It's like that hybrid lipstick lip gloss formula that just makes your lips feel so comfortable. It's never drying when you wear it. You never feel like you need to apply a lip mask after you've worn this product. Now, it's not going to be super long lasting, but it's absolutely beautiful on the lip. So this applies easily over the lips with its glide on, melt away, and ultra hydrating texture, which transforms into a shiny oil on contact with the lips for sensation of absolute comfort. In a flash, it offers an intense high shine result, owning to a thin coating and glossy oil selected for their ability to reflect the light. So it really does do that. On contact with the lips, it does melt in. It almost feels like an oil, so it gives a little bit of that glossy lip effect, and your lips just feel plump, and it does smooth out your lip lines a little bit too. So I just find it such a flattering lip shade. This is something I put in my handbag when I go out because it's just so easy to touch up with as well. Can't say enough good things about this Rouge Coco Flash in Boy. And then my final favorite are the Chanel Rouge Coco Glosses. My favorite shades are the shade 804, I think it's Rose Naif, and 726, which I believe is Icing. I just thought I'd mention too because not everyone will be a fan of this kind of milky pink nude. And again, not everyone will be a fan of what looks like this very bright, intense pink. But it doesn't actually, these are very sheer lip gloss products. So when you swatch this lip gloss, it's not going to look as intense on your hand or on your lips as it does in the tube. Like this looks quite bright and poppy, but it's really not. It just gives you a sheer tint of coverage, a sheer tint of color. But I love this formula of this gloss. It is ultra hydrating. It's a very smooth, thin texture. So your lips aren't going to feel like they have too much product on them. They're not going to feel gloopy. They're not going to feel uncomfortable because it is such a thin, just silky formula. It's very unique. I just love this formula. I can't get enough. Again, this is something that I like to put in my handbag when I want my lips to just feel comfortable. It's something that I can touch up my lips if I just want to add a little bit of that glossiness, that little bit of a plumping effect. So this is an irresistible high shine gloss that keeps lips moisturized for up to 8 hours. The non-sticky gel formula melts onto the lips. Easy to apply with its cocoon applicator tip. Rouge Coco Gloss offers many different ways to have fun with your gloss. Try one is to want them all in every shade. Agree with that again. So it is very non-sticky. You're not going to feel that tackiness onto your lips. Glides onto the lips with ease, just very smoothing and comforting on the lips. Very sheer tint of color, so you can go in with those more fun shades just to add a little bit of a tint to your lips without it being an overwhelming bright lip color. This formula is just top notch and it's definitely a top 10 favorite. And then I also wanted to mention just one last product. Now, this is technically my 11th product, but for my top 10 products, I don't necessarily think you need to buy the Chanel Sublimage Le Teint and the Chanel Sublimage Le Sens de Teint. They are my top 10 products, but I just thought I'd kind of mention the differences between the two. So I'm kind of including a sneaky 11th favorite product in here. And this is the Chanel Le Beiges Volume and Care Lash Primer. Now this might seem like a waste of money to some people, but this is a fantastic lash primer, very similar to the Dior lash primer that I consistently talk about, but I actually hadn't tried the Chanel Le Beiges until I got it in my stocking this year for Christmas. And I really, really love this formula. It is nourishing on the lashes, and it just makes your mascara perform even better. So I like to use this underneath my mascara. Yes, it goes on white, but it doesn't turn your lashes gray when you apply a black mascara over top. It does nourish and condition the lashes. It makes the mascara that you apply over top just gives you a little bit more volume, a little bit more thickness, a little bit more length. So if you like the mascara you're using, I guarantee you will like it even more if you go in with this lash primer. It just really enhances your mascara and takes your mascara to the next level. And as someone who doesn't wear false lashes, I really like that effect. So that is everything for my top 10 Chanel beauty favorites. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know your favorite Chanel products. Maybe just leave me your top 3 products from Chanel down below. I would love to hear if we have similar favorites or if I need to try something new. I feel like I've tried everything from the Chanel Permanent line, and I feel like they just really nail complexion and lip products specifically. But anyways, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Like this video if you like it, and I'll see you in my next video.